Hey, my beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I'd like to start off every day with a fresh, hot, black cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to. And of course, I think of my favorite quote of the century by Oscar Wilde, which says, "Life is too important to be taken seriously, so let's lighten up, folks." Anywho, today it is Tuesday, April 6th, 10:30 p.m. So first off, I want to say I wish everyone had a wonderful and happy Easter. And if you notice my background, my setup is still my Easter setup from last week's video. Because honestly, of all the setups that I've done, this is the one that I love so much. Like when I look at it, I smile. And I'm like, I love that I smile every time I pass by it. So indulge me, guys. You get to see this for one more video. Anywho, so today's topic is, drumroll please, getting fully vaccinated. Yay! I have been fully vaccinated, hence my little sticker. So I have did a video a couple of months back when the vaccines first became available, and I gave my 2 cents on that. So those of you who have seen it, I'm not going to go over that again, but let me just say, obviously, I am for getting vaccinated. I know there are people out there who might be against it, but we're not going to talk about that. What I want to talk about today is the actual aftermath of once you get vaccinated, how I felt and all of that. I know there's a lot of different things that I've read or I've heard where they say, when you get the first dose, assuming that you're getting the 2-dose one, Moderna or Pfizer, that a lot of people don't have any kind of reaction or feel okay after the first one, but there's more of a chance of you feeling something after the second one. I've also heard other theories where, depending on how strong your immune system is, the stronger your immune system, then they say there's more of a chance of you feeling something or having a reaction to it. Now, of course, none of it is 100% foolproof because, when I've said that to people, then people will respond, well, my immune system is great and I didn't feel anything. That's why it's a generalization. Having said that, when I first heard that, I thought to myself, oh, good, because you know what, girl, I'm 56 and I'm open and honest about the fact that I've been positive for 28 years. So I assume I'm going to feel shit, hun, because I'm old and my immune system is shot. Although not really, because I've always said I'm living a healthy life with that, and I've, knock on wood, I've never had anything wrong with me pertaining to dealing with that. So the first dose that I had Moderna. I had the first one February 28th, which was a Sunday, and it was at 10 a.m. Now, I made it a point to just, come running home. I had mine done in the Bronx, which is where I'm from. And it was 10 that morning. I was back home by 1 that afternoon. I made it a point that Sunday and Monday to just basically stay home. I didn't have anything planned because I thought just in case. And I did kind of feel a little tired because, the two main things that I hear is where they say you feel fatigued and your body could feel a little sore or achy. And then obviously at the injection site, that's always a little tender. Excuse me. So that Sunday, Monday, I think I was okay. I mean, I felt slightly off or a little weird, for lack of a better term, but it wasn't anything really major. I've also read where it's some people say they feel feverish or chills or flu-like symptoms. I didn't get any of that. So I was oh, okay. Fast forward, I had the second dose March 28th, so 9 days ago. Now that was a different story because that one, instead of 10 a.m., I had it at 6 p.m. And I had spent the day in the Bronx with my parents, and I was doing a lot of physical labor that day, a couple of hours before, moving stuff, and won't get into that, but right before getting vaccinated, getting the second dose, because I did all of that physical labor, my body was what the fuck did you do to me? So I was already feeling a little achy and sore. And remember when they gave me the injection, almost immediately, as soon as I stood up, I was wow, I almost felt immediately that like a foreign substance had been injected in my body. And girl, and I'm gonna tell you, it was not a hot European man from Italy. It was like, wait, what did you guys just do? And I remember even like standing up and being like, oh, okay. Like I instantly felt something. It wasn't terrible. So, but that night, that was at 6. I was back home by about 8, 8:30. And I tried going to bed at like 11:30 and I was really like tired, but I think because of everything that I had done prior to the vaccine. But for the life of me, I could not fall asleep. I couldn't. It was like 2:30 in the morning and I finally fell asleep. It's almost like, how sometimes if you're overtired and you can't sleep, it's exactly how I felt. So I fell asleep at like 2:30, woke up at like 5 that morning, wide awake, and then I was like, wait, did I just sleep? It was one of those things where I didn't even know if I had or hadn't, but then I remembered that a dream that I had. So that's what made me realize, oh yes, okay, I did sleep. I did fall back asleep at like 5:30, slept for a few hours, and then at that point, I was in this really nice deep sleep. So I was like, oh, okay, good. But then that Monday, all day, I really did kind of feel a bit tired, fatigued, like my bones were a little achy. This, where they injected me, was definitely sore, a little more than it had been the first time around. And of course, they say that the second dose can be a little more intense, the reaction that you may or may not have to it. I definitely felt it. I remember even like if I was going like that to like make a fist, I was like, oh, my knuckles. And I think the weirdest part of it all for me was I felt really foggy. Like my head felt like I couldn't think clearly. It was very difficult for me to focus. So I'm thinking, well, is it because I'm sleep deprived and because of my sleep pattern that Sunday night? And, am I also like that aching tired because of all the work I had done that afternoon? I think it was a combination of everything that I just said. I just assumed, okay, well, come Tuesday, I'll be feeling better. So I woke up Tuesday, but Tuesday I was like, this shit ain't that much better. And I normally film these videos on a Tuesday, but last week I didn't because Tuesday I was like, I can't. And even when I woke up Wednesday, I was still like, I was not feeling 100%. I still felt like something was off. And it was, apart from the fact that it was hard to focus and I was foggy, the funny thing that happened was the first 24 hours, for the life of me, I kept thinking everyone's name was John. I don't know where the fuck that came from. I think it's because like half the guys that I've dated have been named John, and then half the guys that I've been with have been Johns. So all I could think of. But even like if I would think of someone that, oh, I'm going to call my best friend Ava, I would say, oh, I'm going to call my best friend John as I'm envisioning her. So it didn't matter what your gender was. For the following 24 hours, your name was John. Go figure. So it was interesting too, because when I shot my video last week on Wednesday, I'm sure some people could relate to this, but as a creative person, when you're filming or doing anything creative, if you're not feeling 100%, I hate that I even had to do it that day, but it was like, Wednesday I was like, God, I wish I had one more day, but I did not have that luxury of time. So I did it. I got through it. When I play it back, I'm pleased with the finished product. But I'm so critical with myself that like when I watch it, there's a couple of like technical things that I'm like, oh, like how did I like not realize that, or like hindsight. But I know it's because of that. But it's okay. You know what? That I spoke to a couple of friends and they were like, I didn't even notice what you're talking about. And I'm like, oh, good. But that's just how I am. And I'm glad I did it that Wednesday anyway, because I pushed myself to do it. And I have a tendency of doing that anyway. I could have maybe waited till Thursday, but then that would have been too much because, these videos always premiere Friday, 10 a.m. So anywho, but by the end of the week, come like, Thursday, Friday, definitely by Friday, I was like, okay, good. I'm back to normal. And, my normal anyway. And I'm a better person for having done it. I'm glad that I'm vaccinated. They say once it's 2 weeks past your second shot, that's when you're fully inoculated. So, having said that, my 2 weeks would be this Sunday coming up, which I guess would be April 11th. So you still have to be smart about it. I'm going to leave you with this one thought, even though I will be fully vaccinated, I'm still going to wear the mask. I'm still going to like adhere to what we should do. Because, my only fear is that are people going to be like, oh, I'm vaccinated, so now it's going to be a free-for-all and now I don't have to worry about shit. Because then we're going to end up taking steps back if people do that. So, we've gotten this far with it. It's been over a year. It's been a hellish year. But, I'm alive and able to speak about it. So I need to keep doing what I'm doing. So, and hopefully I just want everyone to be safe and healthy. So get vaccinated, guys. It's not terrible at all. And when all is said and done, you're protecting yourself and you're protecting others. So, all right. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what I had to say, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and have an amazing day and see you soon. Love you.